Hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. I'm reminded of a movie that I enjoyed many years ago, as well as enjoy watching from time to time. A movie that I was shamed for having emotion for it. Fast and the Furious. The first movie. The real one. The best one. One thing that Dom and Letty and Mia, as well as Vince, I can't remember the guy that drove the yellow Nissan, but him too, and Joey. They were not posers. They knew what the fuck they were doing. They were thieves. They stole. But they knew what they were doing. They knew cars. And they knew their car. They knew their car. They knew how to race their vehicle. They knew what they had under the hood. They knew the capabilities of their vehicles, and they always strived to do better. They always strived to improve whatever it was they were doing, even if it was stealing. They were very inventive, very creative. And they were a family too. They were definitely a fucking family. That was real. It was honest. And Dom knew. He knew that white boy, Brian Spillner, was a fucking poser. He was a poser. He was a wannabe. He wanted to be down with what they were going through. But he also wanted to be on the right side of things, but he wanted to be down. This back and forth, right? And at some point, you gotta fucking decide. You gotta decide. And what Dom did was, like, he called him out. He called him out on his bullshit the first time they met. He picked up on it. You don't belong here. Something's not right with you. Something's off about you. And then when he showed up to the meet, when he wasn't even supposed to fucking be there, he looked like a fucking poser. Yeah, he had the car. It was a good looking car. I'll give him that. He had all the bells and whistles on it. 2-stage nitrous system. Had the system set up, computer, laptop hooked up and everything. But he did not know his car. He didn't know what he had. He didn't know how to race the vehicle. He could stand by it, look sexy next to it, right? But he didn't know his fucking vehicle. And that pissed me off. You have a lot of people out here in this world that are fucking posers. They're posers in life. They're not about that life. They're not about, they're just not about it. They're posers. They want to find a place where they belong, where it feels good. But a lot of them don't even want to do the work. A lot of them didn't grind. A lot of them were handed shit. That car that Brian got, he was handed that car. He had somebody else do the work on the fucking vehicle. He bribed and or blackmailed, can't remember the guy's name of the race car performance store, bribed him to make him look legit, to make him seem legit, and bribed him to do the work on the car. Oh, and I need that tonight. What the fuck? You know, most people that are involved in that type of shit, the way they get their money, not all of them, but a lot of them, it's dirty. It's dirty and grimy. And they're getting that money so that they can put money into what it is that's going to make them more money. But there's risk behind it. There's risk. And there are a lot of people that don't want to take the risk. They're scared. So if they can get somebody else to take the risk for them, if they can get somebody else to put in a good word for them or whatever, to make them legit, if they can pose and fake as if they are something of importance better than the next person, they're going to do it. But then when it comes down to do or die, and they can't do, they're going to fucking die. A lot of people don't get that shit. That's what made me somewhat emotional about the movie. And I was in my teens when I saw that shit. And everybody was so hooked on the vehicles and blah, 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 blah. No, I saw the deeper meaning behind everything that was going on in the movie. And that's life, man. If you're not willing to do, you may die. If you are going to be a poser, a fake, okay, you're going to be a poser and a fake and get yourself involved in something that you can't get the fuck out of. So you might die. There are people that are not playing, they're serious. They take not only what they do seriously, but their respect, the respect that they have for themselves as well as for other people, as well as for whatever they're involved in. It's extreme. When Dominic got called out by the Asian guy with the S2000, I can't remember his name, Johnny something, I don't know. When he got called out by him, and Johnny or whatever his name said he was a fucking narc, you saw how pissed he got when he called him out in front of everybody for said he was a narc, that he narked on somebody. And he hated that guy. He did not like that guy. The guy blew up the fucking car. No telling what else the guy did to him. But he had respect. He understood the game. He understood the rules. You don't narc. Even on somebody you can't stand, even on somebody you hate, you don't narc. So for him to be called a narc, yeah, he beat his ass. And I get it. You're calling somebody out in front of a whole group of people where word can spread, lies can be spread, and that person's reputation is fucked. How many people out there in the world are out there lying on other people? Spewing lies about another person that's not true, to try to fuck up what they got going on. Mess up their respect, their connection, their relationship with people. It's real. What does that do to a person? A person can die, can be set up because of lies that are told on them. But you have people that are doing this shit every day. And then you wonder why people get pissed off and or people want to retaliate against another person because of some fuck shit that was done to them. I get that. The difference between me and those people is that I have given that to God to handle. I don't get my get back. But it's real. That is real. Out there in the world, that's real. Everything that they said in that movie, everything that was going on in that movie, it's real. That's not a fantasy. That's real life. You know the underhanded crap that goes on. Just okay. I've talked about this before. I don't know if I released the videos, but I talked about the underhanded, grimy shit that can go on within these car dealerships, these independent car service players, the tow truck drivers, the parts companies, insurance. You know how much underhanded shit goes on? It's real. You think they just came up with that? What was going on in the movie? No, that's real. Stuff falls off trucks. So, I relate to a lot of what was going on in that movie. And I've experienced a lot of crap from people similar, not exact, but similar to what happened in that movie. Because you have people, fake posers around you that want to be down and they're not. And they want to get everybody else on their team and see them as being one when they're not that way. And it comes time to do or die, and they end up dying.